What up? What up? What up? What it do?
Yo.
Welcome to the most organic conversation on the internet, hands down. Up to it, down to it. Episode 1. We are out here.
We out
So
here.
it's game time, man. We go ahead to go through some introductions real quick. I'm the Punisher TW. I'm also known as Trace. Some of y'all know me either way. But yeah, I said Punisher TW right here. To my left, we have the immovable force. What up, bro?
What it do, baby? You know?
Yes,
Got to
sir.
see it through, my boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what time it is. And then to the far left right there, my LB, my Ace Boon Coon, my ride or die since day one, my man, King Rich.
What's going on, people? What's going on?
You know what it is, man. So here on Up to It, Down to It, we're gonna take a couple different topics and a couple of different ideas, and we're gonna decide if we're gonna talk to it via the shot glass. That's the move. If the shot glass goes up, we're gonna talk about it.
We up to it.
We up to it. So here we go. There's a lot of shit going on. it's a lot of shit going on in the world right now.
When isn't it?
Yeah, I think that'll make this even better because just stuff always happening. Let's see.
It can go any way. So we can get with it. Like you said, if we up to it, raise the glass. If we down to it, we just move on to the next topic. So
all right, we need to put one in the air just because.
All right, well, let's do that for the intro. GP,
baby.
Up to it, baby. Let's get it. Good stuff out here. Woo.
Shouts out to Terramana. That's what that was.
What's that? What you drinking?
Terramana.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Smooth. Yeah. I got to re-up on that one.
Yeah, time to get some. I need to grab me some Uncle Nearest myself. But shameless plug. That's a shameless plug. We're not getting paid for any of that.
Yeah, no. Black owned everything. Black owned everything.
On everything. Yes, sir. Black owned everything on God. Here we go, fam. All right, so look, man, we got let's see. Look, where do we want to start? One of the hottest topics that's been out here over the last week or so is the Will Jada Chris Rock quagmire. That has been a big thing. Fellas, are we up to it? Because a lot's come out over the last week. Are we up to it or are we down to it?
Originally, I was down to it just because I was like, yeah, well, they just stopped talking about it. But it as I continue to think about it, and I talked to several different people, and I'm just like, it's deeper than the facade of it all, So, they kind of changed my viewpoint, and I was like, you know what? I'm up to it because it does, man. It just goes deeper than just the slap itself,
Okay, then there you have it.
So I'm up to it.
We got one vote up to it. Okay, all right, Kev, what say you, big bro?
Hey, listen, Cup's already in the air, man. If it's what they say, all publicity is good publicity.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. I don't know who they is, but they said it. So we going up to it.
They are always talking a lot of shit. So all right, well, here we go. Shot number 2. We about to get into the Will Jada Chris Rock quagmire. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this at all. Up to it, down to it. Y'all know the rest of it. We're gonna save that for next time. That'll be for the early show, the early viewers.
So what you thinking, Rich, man? You said it's deeper than that. So go ahead and give us a little bit.
Yeah, man. So all right, so here's where I'll start, right? When I first saw it, because I didn't see it live, I just heard the buzz about it. I said, all right, let me check this out, right? So then, I saw what was going on. And it wasn't that I couldn't believe what I just saw. It was more of okay, yeah, maybe he's defending Jada. Parts of me was like, okay, but why? Like, why in that? Why would you do it that way? Because you made yourself look like a fool.
That part.
And I was just like, yo, there's something wired up in there, you know, because at first they showed the clip of him. He laughed at it at first, right?
Mhm.
And then he decided, he looked over at Jada. Jada gave him a look, and then next thing you know, he's walking up there and karate chopping Chris Rock. I'm like, yo, why? Like and you know, if it was anybody else, I probably would have been even more shocked, just because of the stupidity behind it, right? But I'm like, dang, Will, like you really got some. You still at this age, at this time, you still got some stuff that you need to work out. You need to see a therapist. You need to do something. But in the back of my mind, I was like, well, look at what he's been through, and not to give him an excuse, but to be like, yo, like, what's really behind that? Because we all know Chris Rock is a comedian, so that's just what he does. He makes jokes, and it wasn't even that big of a joke. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It wasn't even that big of
He's
a joke.
he's quite literally a professional joke teller. Like that's literally his occupation. That's what he does.
Right. So I'm like, yo, it had to be deeper. And it wasn't even, I don't even think it was directed at Chris Rock. It was just, he was the vessel at the point. He was just the transference of energy for
Yeah.
all this disgust and hatred. And quite honest, it was probably mostly from Jada. I mean, we've
Well,
heard of
well.
men getting emasculated by their wives. So, I mean, come on.
Hello.
Who have you seen some of the red tables? I haven't seen the full clip of it, but I was just like, dog, like
I have seen a few episodes of the Red Table. All I can say is I feel bad for my man Will. I feel bad for Will. That's really all I can say. I wish I could say more than that. Like I
I
feel bad
mean,
for the brother.
I feel bad for both of them because they just seem lost. Yeah, y'all might not agree, but personally, I feel like they both seem lost. And they're
Yeah,
still
I
at
agree.
this age trying to figure it out. And I'm not saying they should have it all together, but it's like, what are you doing? Obviously, the things that you've been doing, trying to figure it out on your own, has not been working. So either you're not taking the advice of some of the people that have been talking to you, I don't know if it's pride or whatever, but there's something deeper there. And I can't sit there and say that I know I can pinpoint it and know what it is, right? But I do know one thing. They better get some capital God up in there. That's what I
Mm.
do know.
Well, so we about to go off script, but just because you said that, you know what? No, I'm gonna hold that back. I'm gonna hold that back. Force, man, talk to us, bro.
Now I wholeheartedly get what Rich is saying. I I also believe that this is one of them places that we can't really speak to too much. And that's celebrity lifestyle, because you know how we are coming from a lot of places where we come from, Baltimore, DC, like niggas get slapped every day, B. Like it ain't, what I'm saying? People get beat up every day, like
These are facts.
for saying something out their mouth that they ain't got no business saying,
These are facts.
Mama jokes get you
Big facts.
smacked in the mouth.
Big facts.
Talking about somebody's girl to get you smacked in the mouth. Talking about somebody's man to get you smacked in the mouth.
These
So
are all facts.
in our non-celeb, non-multi-millionaire lives, that is a common thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we see world star videos every day of people just, wrecking because somebody threw their fries back at the cashier at Popeyes. Like now you got to see me with the hands. So, it's like I think there's a level that we'll never understand just because we're not celebrities. So to have your entire life, everywhere you go, there's a camera following you, paparazzi, TMZ, trying to be in your business. Like there's no level of privacy. And Will and Jada's marriage has been in the media for years. Their, their individual lives, their collective lives, been in the media for years. Both of them starting, acting at such a young age. Like they just been celebrity more for longer than in their lives than they've not been celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like,
Hey, Kev, let me interject real quick though. But with that celebrity, right? With that, you get the following, you get all this quote unquote power, right? Doesn't that come with some responsibility of holding yourself to a higher standard?
Good question.
I'll argue that according to who though? Like I didn't, I would argue that a lot of celebrities didn't become celebrities to be role models. They became celebrities to make more money or to be seen. You know what I'm saying? So like, we've heard athletes say, it's not my job to be a role model to your kids. As a parent, you should be a role model to your kids. My job is to dribble a basketball, pass a football. My job is to make music videos, like for people to enjoy. It's not to be a role model, So like, I definitely get what you're saying, but I don't think any celebrity's primary responsibility is to be a role model. I'm grateful for the ones who put on a great face and spread a positive message. But I would, for me, I'm gonna look to the people who are closest to me to not idolize, but make as role models, because that makes more sense to me. So I definitely get what you're saying. I just don't think it's their responsibility.
No, and I can partially agree with you. And here's why I say partially, right? Because although it's not their responsibility to train up someone's child, right? But when you are given this sort of, quote unquote power and this limelight, right? Don't you think that there is a humane responsibility, right? Don't you think there is some sort of moral compass responsibility? But at the same time, it's like y'all are given, and I do say y'all because I have never bought a Will Smith record or put money into any of these people's pockets. For that reason, I just
You never
compelled,
bought a Will Smith "I Don't Cuss in My Record." You never bought one of those?
I can't even tell you whose record I have bought, any CD or anything like that, right?
Yeah,
and it's because
I can tell
it's not like it's not that I like Will for the talent that he has, but I'm not putting him on this all shock pedestal. Like if I met him in person, I was like, oh snap, Will, what's going on? Yeah, I'm not that star-studded person. I could be because of my upbringing, Trey, we grew up around people that have been, high celebrities. We're just not starstrucking. We don't put people on pedestals like that because that's a type of worship. That's a type of, idol. We're idolizing them, right? And so, but at the same time, like for me personally, my moral compass says that, I need to be, if I'm gonna be a role model for my kid, that means when I step out, I'm representing him. I'm representing my name.
Yeah.
So my name means something. And now if they don't have that moral compass, that's on them. And I listen, I'm not here to tell them that, hey, you need to be this. But I'm just saying, what does your name mean to you? What are you leaving behind? And I would hope that they would at least have some type of moral compass that says, I'm at this status and I need to govern myself a certain way. That's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree at all.
I
don't disagree at all.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I do dig your devil's advocate there with the because that's reality.
Pretty much what
that's
it is.
Reality.
And I think of
people gonna think the way they think.
Who Will Smith is. That's West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Spoiler. This is spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear this next part about the Bel Air show, okay, don't listen. Just for 5 seconds.
There we go. Hey, so
really,
y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. If you haven't watched Bel Air yet,
it's not even.
Have not watched Bel Air yet, chill.
Listen, it's not even a spoiler alert. I know how to tweak this. All I'm gonna say is how he acted is evident in that show, and I peeped it, and I was like, wow, the last episode really, confirmed some things. Like that's who he is, and one of the bigger messages was he was trying to stay true to who he was. So maybe that was what he was trying to do in that moment. He's trying to stay true to his Philadelphia side. But again, I just disagree with that action, and because you can stay true to where you come from and who you are, but at some point you still got to grow.
Yeah. So my thing, I got a couple of thoughts on this, and Kev, I'm gonna come back to you, bro. So my excuse me, my first thought is this. So we acknowledge he laughed at the joke.
We acknowledge that,
right? And I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper. We're gonna go into some deep waters with this one. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but we gotta keep it real, man. That's what we do on Up to It, Down to It. We gotta keep it real, right? My thought is this: he laughed at the joke initially, and if you've seen any videos, she laughed at the slap. She laughed at the slap, right? So when he went up there and popped Chris Rock, erroneously, he shouldn't have did that. That was wrong, right? But he went up there and did that. She totally laughed at it and laughed it off like it was nothing. And I want to show y'all this real quick. And then, ironically enough, after that, then she shows essentially she doesn't take his back. She doesn't take his side on this, right? Now, I don't know. Let me first say that I don't know. We don't know how accurate these statements are. However,
also
that part. First of all, we don't know how accurate this is. This is this was what the shit was this? This was like, U.S. Insider or something, some crap. Like, who the hell is this white girl on here? What?
The main character on Sex in the City.
What just happened here? Yeah, yo. All right. Okay. So, oh man, it won't even let me go past the vid. All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah, so this is allegedly, right? Yeah.
So anyway, that's my point. Allegedly, all of these things were said, right? And allegedly, it was wow. Okay. All right. It was in the heat of the moment, and it was him overreacting. He knows that, and she knows that. They're in agreement. So this brings my other problem up for Will, and this is for anybody else who kind of subscribes to Will's behavior, right? He knew it was wrong. She knew it was wrong. They both admit and acknowledge that he overreacted. So for anybody who's saying, hey, man, he did the right thing by going up there and slapping Chris Rock, defending his wife's honor, well, that can't be right because they both acknowledged that he was wrong. Right? They both acknowledged that he was wrong. The second part of that is this. And I know ain't nobody really going, I ain't going to say ain't nobody, but very few people going to rock with me on this. And that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Go for it.
I like Jada. Let me say this first and foremost. I like Jada. I like Will, and I was rooting for them. I was like all of you. I rooted for them. I was singing that part loud and strong when Alicia Keys' song came on, talking about we could, whatever, like Will and Jada, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was all in for that. But dog, the fact is, and we can see it, Jada has emasculated Will Smith to a level that honestly, if they keep fucking with this dude, he gonna Chris Benoit somebody. I'm just saying, if we keep fucking with this guy, he is going to. I'm sorry. If we keep messing with this guy, I'm trying to stop cussing, y'all. I'm trying. If we keep. Damn, LB, that's how you feel? Damn, both of y'all, that's how y'all feel?
Listen, if you up to it too many more times, today,
okay.
hold up and back,
I didn't know. Congratulations.
I'm trying to stop cussing when I'm not drinking. All right. So but we've been drinking. So no, seriously though, we all rooted for Will. I think we all rooted for Will and Jada. I think. So to see this and to see the overarching "you're not good enough" coming from Jada, right? Again, we can go back to the fact that Willow wrote a letter wishing Tupac back. Y'all saw that, right? Willow wrote a letter wishing
No.
Tupac back so that Jada could be happy again
I might look
because
that
of
up.
you feel me? Like so
I think
here's
I did
what
hear about it, but I didn't see it. I didn't.
I'm gonna see.
didn't
I'm gonna
get
see if
that.
I can if I can pull it up real
No,
quick. But
no.
no.
Because that's gonna bring up some other stuff.
Man, this is what I'm saying, bro. Is like he did. I'm sorry. Imagine. So all of us have kids. We all have kids. We're all dads, right? Imagine your child, because that life came from you. Okay. Imagine your child. Well, that's a whole other.
It's deep.
I ain't gonna get.
I told you.
We about to go there.
Deep, man.
We about to go there. We're about to go there. But that life came out of your body. Okay, straight up. Like that life came out of your body. So imagine your child writing a letter to the memory of your wife or girlfriend's dead ex-boyfriend. By the way, your kid was born years after his death. If I'm Will Smith, and somebody shared with me a little while ago about how many movies, it might have been, no, it was somebody else. Somebody shared with me a little while ago how many movies he did over the last, 15, 20 years or so. And it was a ton. Like, I mean, it was a shit ton, maybe a couple shit tons, right? If I'm Will Smith and somebody is putting into my child's head that the only way for her mom to be happy is if the ex-boyfriend who's dead comes back, that just to me sounds like someone who has been completely stripped of his manhood. We saw it on Red Table, in my opinion. We saw it on Red Table because she said, I haven't felt good, is what she said. I haven't felt good in a long time. Now we all fellas in here, yo, let's keep it real. I see you, kid. Let's keep it real. If your girl comes to you and says, and you've been with this chick, you've been, doing your thing, and your girl comes to you and says that she hasn't felt good in a long time.
Here's what I'll say. Their marriage has been unorthodox, right? It's been unorthodox. We've heard the rumors.
But whose fault is that, though? All right, my bad. Go ahead. You got it. Rock off.
Whoo! Man, we're gonna touch on it. We're gonna touch on it, right? And this is my personal opinion. It's Will's fault, ultimately, as the head of the household. It's his fault.
Man.
I'm gonna keep it that simple. Without going, too deep, because that's gonna go into some other things that we can't go into. But we already probably, we some time into.
We know what time it is.
So ultimately, it's Will's fault, right? He's supposed to control all of that, and I think that I'm not saying that he's supposed to put a muzzle on Jada or his kids, anything like that. But I'll just say this. I said it before that I feel like they're lost. And if he knew the path that they should go, he would have been able to direct, let her voice her opinion. But look, here's the route we're going. And if you're not down with that, then
I got 2 words for you. Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself, bro.
The most electrifying.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I couldn't. Shout out to all my WWE fans out here in these streets.
Oh man, what?
Shout out
Love
to
them,
all of
all of them.
you. Go ahead, LB,
Yeah,
my
man.
bad.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's like, if he had that direction, he would have been able to say, "Oh, okay, I hear what you're saying, but here's what we're gonna do," you know. But from what I've been reading and understanding about their open marriage and openness and relationship, that it's like you're inviting these things to happen to you. Did you not understand that? Did you not think about that? You know, every action has a reaction, a consequence. So, yeah, you better take these jokes. I I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Man, it's like you've now lived your whole life as just I guess an experiment maybe because
See,
I feel like
my
the
thing
path
is
is
thing is
already laid
can you
out.
not take a joke though? Like when did innocuous? I mean, seriously, an innocuous joke. Like this is it wasn't like again, alopecia is a legit disease, but it's not cancer, right?
Hey man, I think he could take a joke. I think he can't take the look that Jada gives him.
Well, 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 wow. Simping ain't easy,
I said
dog.
it.
Simping ain't easy.
I said it.
I'm just here
You
to play devil's
you let
advocate. I'm just
go
here.
ahead, Kev.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
here to play
Go,
devil's advocate. All right.
go ahead,
So
Kev.
I know that a lot has been put on the laugh that happened before the slap. I myself laugh as a defense mechanism to things that make me uncomfortable. And so I've literally like in arguments with significant others, I laugh because like that's my fight or flight response. And so and again, there are three sides to every story. It's the man side, the woman side,
Mhm.
and then the truth. So I can imagine, and again, this is just me trying to see all the perspectives. I can imagine that somewhere in there, there's a discomfort for Will and there's a discomfort for Jada. That yes, you may see them laughing, but it does not mean they're comfortable in the moment because again, everybody responds to uncomfortable things in a different way. And
That's fair. That's
I can
fair.
put myself in that position that like literally, and I said there's a because we're not celebrities, there's a level of this that we don't understand that you can have all the PR in the world, you can have people who prep you for interviews and teach you how to answer questions and all of that, but there's a human side of you that when you're put on the spot, and I say on the spot because the Oscars, just like any other major show, you run through like your lines and your jokes, like all of that stuff has to get cleared before it happens, especially because shout out to Family Guy, the FCC jumps on everything. So like there are certain things that you just gotta clear before it happens. From what I'm to understand, because all of this stuff is alleged, the GI Jane joke wasn't a part of Chris Rock's monologue. It was an on the spot thing. And again, if we circle back to 2016, they were the butt of his jokes at that point for boycotting. I know to some people, the boycott is not a big thing, whatever the case may be. But again, we can't speak to what makes them feel the way that they feel.
But
And if you're for years the target of the same person's jokes, I'm not saying you don't have a right to feel a kind of way. So while I do completely understand everybody's notion, I'm trying to see perspectives because I know I've overreacted to certain stuff and I can have 2020 hindsight, but in the moment when it happens, you're going to get the first thing that comes to my mind, not necessarily the most sensible thing that should have been done in the moment.
yeah, no, that's fair. I totally get that. But I guess my question would be, what would drive you to I think first of all, I think we've all had moments. I've certainly had plenty with dealing with my wife, right? And Rich, I'm sure you've had some dealing with yours, right? So and we've been there. We've been there, right? So, what I guess I should say is what would drive you internally to make a decision like that off of a joke?
It depends.
Like, yeah,
go. And that's what I'm saying. Like literally anything. So for instance, when my mother passed, I was sensitive to everything. So it didn't matter whether it was a light joke or a heavy one. It didn't matter if it was about me or somebody else. It didn't matter if it pertained to me personally or somebody that I cared about. If in the moment I felt like you were wrong, you were going to get the absolute most from me because I was at an unhealed place, which is one of the things that Rich said. Like there's a lot of things that Will may need and he's not necessarily getting it, or he could be in the process of working through it, but it still hasn't hit that point. Like I'm a big proponent of therapy now. So I'm in therapy. I do mindfulness and I do personal. So I'm in group and solo, but still there are triggers that I have that all the therapy in the world can, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And so like that's why I said there are so many aspects of this that we don't know. And I really think the biggest one of them is having your life under a microscope 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And I agree with that, but again, my question is, whose fault is that?
I don't think it's fault. I think it's
okay. Well, I'll use
circumstance.
Okay, fair enough. I'll use Will Smith words, right? Because he did a beautiful speech a few years ago, and you can look it up on YouTube or whatever, where he talked about, things may not be your fault, but they are your responsibility. Right. He gave a beautiful speech on that. I mean, I still use that, those sayings to this day. Right. So with that said, okay, cool. Not your fault, but whose responsibility was it in the first place? Like, let me put it this way. So, when I saw a post on Facebook not too long ago that said that we, the people, put Jada and Will's marriage on a pedestal. And so now that we realize that they're just as ordinary and average as the rest of us, it doesn't feel right. My question on that post and to that statement is, did we put them on the pedestal? Or did they put themselves on the pedestal?
If you're asking me, I would say we. Because I would make that statement for any celebrity, that the reason they're a celebrity is because we put on a pedestal. That whether it's somebody's marriage or, just somebody's career in general, the reason actors are who they are is because we put them on a pedestal. The reason rappers, singers, athletes are who they are is because we put them on a pedestal. We love your music.
But did we put them on a pedestal because of the realness or because of what they're portraying?
Thank you. Yeah.
That depends on what they do. Because
it really depends. It really doesn't, because you could be a movie star, you could be a rapper, you could be anything, but it's ultimately what you're portraying on media. Because what you can portray on media is different than if this is if this is a camera following you around 100% of the time.
I assume so, and again, everybody's gonna be a little different. I assume that because I don't know you personally, I assume that everything you show me is exactly who you are. Whether good,
that's the fault of the individual, but yes.
And that's what I'm saying. We as people, like, we take whatever the celebrity gives us and runs with that. And I know this is completely off topic. When Beyonce dropped the twins, like, she had a photo shoot.
She had twins? It's like,
no bullshit.
She had a photo shoot, I feel like, within the first 48 hours after she gave birth. and like women were ready to go off.
Did she have those twins? Okay, never mind.
Like, I'm saying they went like it was literally every speculation on earth. Did Beyonce have the twins because she snapped back immediately? Were the photos photoshopped?
When you got money,
did she gain any weight? Does she? You know what I'm saying? Like there were so many things that came as a result of just like her life, and she didn't ask for any of that. It was a creation of the media and the people. So that's like depending on your level of celebrity, the world turns everything you do into something, whether you want it to be that way or not.
Yeah.
So
now T Grizz in the chat. So you're 100% right. She kept it private, but because her and Jay are so private with their kids, and I can respect that, then it leaves everything up to speculation. And so again, that's just people
and
saying
then it's the people that feed off of it, though. Right. So yes, you're absolutely right, Kev. It's like I was saying. It's the people, right? The mass people that are just feeding off of, not me because I don't feed off of. Don't keep up with all this. I got my own life to handle, right? But
hey man,
it's like,
I got enough shit to deal with.
What's going on next? What's going on here? Oh, what's going on in so-and-so's life? What's going on in so-and-so's life? And so, though the powers that be that own, right, these social media firms and the television and all of that, right, they're putting that out there to feed everybody, to be like, oh, it's drama. It's drama, and people are driven by this drama. Right, that could lead us into a whole nother segment on this social media craze, because apparently this, I'm gonna say it, we're live, I don't care, right? There's this white guy that went viral at a Mardi Gras parade. All right, I don't know, he's probably maybe in his 40s, 50s, I don't know. I'm not gonna speak too much about black don't crack, and sometimes people look older than they look. But anyway,
talk about it.
This guy just threw big shade over here for real. Like we're not gonna sit up here and pretend you didn't just throw shade.
I did. Okay. All right, well, it is what it is, right? But anyway, here's the short end of it. He's dancing to a cultured song, right? What the heck was it? The song was something about not cute in the face, but she thick in the waist, you know what I'm saying? And he's just bopping to it. And he's like, you know what I'm saying? It had to be like a 15-second clip, 10 to 15-second clip. And the joint went viral because it's a white guy holding a cup. He vibing to some rap music, singing the words, throwing up his hand. The junk goes viral, right? And now he's invited to all the cookouts. Now he got, these promotion gigs and whatnot. He's got increased following, this, that, and the third. And I'm sitting here not hating, but I'm just thinking, like, is that what we've come to? Where's the talent? What did he do that actually warranted this increase?
The Kardashian.
Yeah. Kev, you got it, man.
Exactly.
Kardashian thing.
Exactly.
But this is somebody. Please tell me.
Paris Hilton did it before the Kardashians.
This is the world we are now living in.
What was their talent?
But again, that's our fault as consumers, and I'm
not consumers.
I'm not saying us because we don't subscribe to it, but as like us, the consumer, it's our fault for making talentless people famous. It's our fault for buying into, Real Housewives as opposed to family television. Like
hey, I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
It's our fault for buying into Real Housewives as opposed to family television. There was a point in our upbringing, because we of the same generation, where every Friday I wanted to see TGIF, and every show on TGIF was a family oriented, wholesome comedy. And then somewhere along the line, we turned family environments into College Hill and Real Housewives of Atlanta And
talk about it.
Like, first of all, how did Potomac fall in the same, like, what? We're like, I mean, listen, PGDC all day, but Real Housewives of Potomac, like, that's what we doing? Like,
now, look, in no way is this a hate on it. Get your money, but we're just saying what the consumer is doing. You can hustle, get your money.
Yeah,
if you gonna get, you know.
And
but
again, that's the thing.
It's the consumer fault.
People, it's twofold. That it's the consumer's fault primarily, but it's also the fault of the content creator, because you're saying I'm willing to sell like all of my dignity for the sake of 15 minutes of fame, for the sake of being a trend on the Shade Room or Spiritual World. Like,
but that's who they are. That's not their responsibility. They're not responsible for what other people do. Other people are going to watch it, but this is who I am.
It wasn't who they were until they realized it could be monetized.
Well, then that's who they are. If I'm a change,
it wasn't a public thing.
Listen,
until because
when I was online, my model, and I created this model long before I was even online. I created this model when I was way little boy back in church and seeing. I was observing everybody. I was observing. I was a chameleon. I was soaking up information, and it didn't matter if I was with the people in the street when I was growing up in DC or if I was in church. I learned to adapt to my environment without changing who I was. So if I'm a accept money, if I'm gonna do something just for money, that's who I am. Like, that's who I've always been. So these people who are doing those things, there are plenty of people who have turned down TV shows, who have turned down different things, who stick to their roots and who they are. So you can't sit here and tell me that they were this way and then they changed. No, that was who they really already were. All right, you might see them doing different things and think they changed, but at the core, come on, man.
That's a valid point.
That's always been there.
Person is who they are.
Valid. I just think that the platform made it steroided. Like, if that makes sense, like, because
now, okay, I can understand what you're saying, because that's boosting us.
Again, like, these are, what I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, everybody
never had that feeling, right?
Everybody's a regular person at the end of the day. So you know what I'm saying, like, it's almost like addicts, and I'm not one, so I'm not going to like fully speak on it. But again, like, if I'm an alcoholic and I've recovered, my job is to stay away from places that are going to expose me to the things that would make me vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, yes, like, it's inside of me, but if I stay away, I'm less likely to be a part of that. When our culture turned into a social media reality TV culture, you then, like, basically permeated the air with the substances that would make all of these addicts put themselves out there. So, like,
okay, I get what you're saying. So, like, essentially, you have people who may be acting out a certain way because that's the norm. Like, that's the accepted norm in society. Is that kind of where you're going with that?
I get what you're saying. You're saying they're actually acting out of their character,
right?
Because
of the promise
of a certain social standard.
Yeah.
Like, think of all the college parties that we went to. Some of the
whoa, we live.
Hey!
I thought this was the most. This
is the most organic conversation on the internet.
The most organic conversation.
Listen. Put a pie party. You know what I'm saying? The pie and the Pi Eta Symphonians. Okay, give me a Sigma sweat party. I saw some of the sweetest girls do some of the craziest things because of environment. Once, you know what I'm saying, once the heat hit you and the humidity, people was coming out their clothes that was in the libraries 23 other hours out the day. It's just, there's, like, your environment has a greater effect than we want to give it credit for. Yes, we have morals and we got scruples and we know better. But baby, when that environment gets a hold of you and you can't, like, it feels good. It's like it's just a hit, that hits your veins. Like it's hard to let that go. And I don't judge people for that. I understand it because there were times where I was like, I gotta go to the library, but niggas was like, yo, we like tonight it's going down. It's
Tonight though.
it's a
But tonight though.
it's a pajama party tonight. And by pajamas, we mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't Old Navy pajamas. It's Victoria's Secret. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I was about to say they might as well call it lingerie.
Your ears get a little wide, and you like, oh, that's a little different than I thought it was gonna be. Your environment affects everything that takes place. So like we got it in us. That know better is in us, but that environment is around us.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. Very, very, very good observation there, man.
Very good point.
Because honestly, the environment, we've talked about this in different types of settings. Like we talk about it in business settings, we've talked about it in work settings, we talked about it in obviously party settings. But the environment does take a hold of you. And it's important to protect your environment. It's important to protect, what's happening around you every day. And it's just kind of circling back to Will and Jada. And this is where my concern is for Will is that he's not able to actually control what's happening in his environment, and I think that unfortunately that the other people rather are more in control of his environment than he is. And we're kind of seeing now, because again, when you're like that, you're gonna at some point lash out. At some point, you have to lash out, right? You're going to because you're not in control of any of your faculties. Basically, you're not in control of your wife's faculties. You're in control over your faculties. You're in control over your kids' faculties. I mean, hell, Jaden is a being, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't knocking the brother. I'm just saying, like, legitimately, he's a being, whatever that means.
Or what he calls it.
Don't identify him.
Yeah, look. Is that? Never mind. We're not going to go up to that. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We're not going to go into that. We'll save that for next week. I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to get canceled on the first episode. We'll get into that next time. But yeah, I think
and that's another topic in itself. The cancel culture. Like as if nobody is awarded forgiveness or nobody is able to make a mistake.
We perfect. What you mean?
Oh yeah, no, you got to be perfect in today's society. Like you have to be, or nobody is gonna. Like there's a woman. I just saw this on Fox News. There's someone in that works for WMAL. I wish I had the name. I'm so sorry I don't have the name. The young lady that works for WMAL that made a joke about Kamala Harris and got fired. I mean, we're at a point now where you can't make an innocuous joke on somebody.
What was the joke though? Because listen, when they go making jokes about black women, what was the joke?
All right. So look. So this is what I know of the joke. Okay, so again, if I get it wrong, kick rocks and go do your own fucking research. Okay. But this is what I know of the story. What I know of the story is that Kamala Harris came out dressed in her, one of her, business power pantsuits, whatever that is, right? And the joke.
This is already going bad. This is already going bad. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is what I know of it. So that she came out in one of those suits or whatever, and the woman happens to be white, and she was saying that Kamala Harris looks like someone that works for UPS. And so her joke was
Amber Happy.
No shit. Okay. Is that the name? Amber Happy?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So we're gonna look that up too. But apparently what she said was, what can Brown do for you? Apparently not enough. Now, hold on. I see you, bro. I see you. Hold on. I don't believe. So she was fired for making a racist joke. I don't know that I believe that the what. I mean, it's fucked up. We can. All right, it's jacked up. It's a fucked up joke. But I mean, are we not allowed to make jokes anymore? Like are we not
So
allowed to make
that's
jokes in the industry?
borderline, though. That's borderline. I'm
It's
looking
borderline.
at the tweet right
It's
now.
borderline.
Because it says
You-
Kamala looks like a UPS employee. What can, and then it's a dash, and
Leave
it
it
says,
there.
"What can
Okay,
Brown
you
do
see it,
for
you see
you?
it. Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
good, apparently." And you got, but what can Brown do for you?
Leave it.
Nothing good, apparently.
Like that was the point.
What?
You gotta.
Yeah, it was like,
It looks like a
what's that
UPS
under?
employee.
That's that undertone racist joke right there.
I mean,
Like, you're not a
but is it?
comedian, though.
But well, I'm sorry. Okay, seriously though, but is it though?
But she's
Like,
not a comedian. She's not. If she
okay, fair
listen,
enough.
if she was a
Fair
comedian,
enough.
she probably still would have had a job. She's probably still would have been making jokes. But what position are you? You're not a comedian, right? Do your job, report, or whatever it is that we're doing, right? I don't know who she is, but Kamala looks like a UPS employee. Make a different kind of joke. But what can Brown do for you? Nothing good, apparently.
And
Are you out of touch? She's
and
definitely out of touch.
But okay. All right. Allow me to play devil's advocate, as y'all can see
Go for
here.
it, because I know
I
you're
have
gonna probably
highlighted.
ask for forgiveness or something, but no.
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay,
literally
all right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
just playing devil's advocate here, right? So, you know, the UPS's slogan is what can Brown do for you, right? Like that is their slogan, right?
it's not where
Is
she
it?
went wrong. That's not where she went wrong. Well, no. I
So,
mean,
so let
okay,
me ask this question. So if it were Hillary Clinton and she weren't black, she wasn't, brown or mixed or whatever, right? If it were Hillary Clinton and she made the exact same joke about Hillary Clinton, would it be considered racist?
no. But again, like it's so like I'm trying. All right, so this is just a sitcom, and so I hope like the sentiment that I'm going for like gets across well. So like I loved the show Marlon when it was on NBC, and so like I binge watch it on Netflix now because that's where it is. So like there's this one episode where Marlon's son was a model for a clothing company, and he took his pictures in a blank shirt. But on like when the shirts came out in the advertisements, on the shirt it said "coolest monkey in the jungle," black kid, coolest monkey in the jungle. So like they took it as racist. When they went to the board, like why would y'all fucking put our kid in a like coolest monkey shirt? They were like our statistics show that monkeys are the most like liked animal in the whatever. So I can understand your logic behind it, but you gotta know that like the statement itself just doesn't sit well with a particular demographic. And so like UPS's slogan is what can Brown do for you?
It was what can Brown do for you? Because that is no more.
Listen, to me, it is because that's what I know them for. Like, you can change all you want, but like people are gonna know you for like your most popular stuff. Like, think of all the companies who have changed their stuff. Like, I don't care what Papa John's does. Like, Shaq may own it now, but I'm still gonna know Papa John's for being racist. Like that, I'm just saying,
The Redskins are still the Redskins,
right?
basically.
The Redskins are still the Redskins.
Shut up, you Buccaneers fan.
I'm just saying, anytime I hear Commanders, I'm like, who? Oh, that's us. Like, so like we're gonna know you for what you're
Tampa Bay would never.
You know what I'm saying? What you're most famous for. So like, even though that is their slogan, it's still too close to the line. Like, so you gotta know. I get it. It's funny, but you still gotta know. You gotta know.
I mean,
so the question is, should she have lost her job?
I don't think so. I don't think that was actually a racist joke. In my opinion, I don't think that was actually a racist joke. Because I think
priest.
You say it again.
She should have been treated like a Catholic priest, reassigned.
I mean that. Don't get me started on that. Oh boy.
We out
boy.
already. We out.
Oh boy.
Mm.
we're
All
gonna
right.
get we're gonna be 5
All right.
episodes in before we get canceled, y'all.
All right. Is
Oh
this
boy.
live or can we edit? All right.
I mean, fuck, man, we're gonna have to edit some of this out.
So yeah, in my opinion, right. I don't think I don't personally think she should have been fired, but definitely just reprimanded, right? Or reassigned, whatever the case may be. But that right there is a teachable moment. And so if you just fire or let it go, like, nah, man, make it a teachable moment somehow, some way. It's like we're all
Yeah.
still learning. We're all still learning. You know what I'm saying? Like I deal with this stuff at work. You know what I'm saying? It's like and sometimes it's like you didn't know what you just said was, you know, offensive. Like, even to this day.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah.
You know, somebody at my job called the way that I would talk in my in my hood, right? Back in DC, growing up in my area, right? In that cultured area, we talked a certain way. Somebody said, "Oh, you mean that stupid lingo? What? You calling my culture stupid or something like?" And I'm like, "You mean that stupid talk?" That's what he said. "You mean that stupid talk?" I said, "What?"
Yo might have got Will Smith slapped. You know, I might have had to.
That would have been one of the worst. Right?
You feel me?
We are not far removed. We still got a long way to go, right? So I think that's just one of those teachable moments that you don't just like cut ties. Nah, develop some type of teachable something within your company, right? Definitely reassigned and all of that, you know. But it needs to be a teachable moment, and I'm honestly, that wasn't one of the cancel culture moments that I think she should have had. You know, that wasn't one of them. I don't think she meant, you know, a racist remarks behind it.
Yeah, and I think,
and at the same time,
my
she
point.
could have.
I feel like intent does make a difference. I really do. I think intent does make a difference. I think that we can say that she might have been
being clever though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't. It's because of that I can't subscribe to firing her, because that is in fact UPS's slogan. At least it used to be at a point. I mean, it may not be anymore, but it was at a point for sure. Their slogan. I think she thought she was being clever. I don't think she was trying to be racist. You know, if we're being real, we know when a motherfucker's trying to be racist. You know what I'm saying?
We do, and we don't. I
elaborate. Go for it.
That like you know, again, the reason they created the term microaggressions is because like it's not always as apparent as, you know, well, you better watch out for that coon. You know what I'm saying? It's not always clear. So like microaggressions exist because people like to tiptoe that line. So like, you know, and again, we don't know her heart. So like we don't know whether or not she, you know what I'm saying, was doing a double entendre.
That's kind of where I would go with that.
Yeah,
is it really a microaggression, or do we just? I mean, that seems to be left to the eye of the beholder, or the eye or ear of the beholder.
Before a company who may want to save face, that is the safest thing you can do is let the person go. Which is why, you know what I'm saying, like, which is why we have trainings coming in to companies, because they have to be careful now. So like, I'm almost certain that, you know, they had a list of non-negotiables that she signed off on as a part of her contract. Like that wording in your contract that says nothing that's detrimental or that could, you know, defame our like company name, like that umbrella is so broad that, you know, you can do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because, and especially that's a news station, so that means she's on TV. Like it's a local celebrity, but it's still a level of celebrity. So it could not have been the Brown joke. It could have been her drunk in public at some place, cussing out a girl who, spilled a drink on her heels. Like that's still, and if they recognize her from that company, they're like, yo, you're like the girl from W blah 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 blah. Like, and that's still a bad look on the company. So like you go through all of those things when you come onto a job. Like you gotta, what I'm saying, represent us because it's no longer about yourself. So like I get it. I get it, but she gotta know better.
But Cam, that's what I'm saying about celebrities, yo. It's like when you have this celebrity title, you got endorsements, you got this, you got that, and it's like you represent your name, you represent all the people. I'm sorry, I'm backtracking, but all right, never mind.
No, I get you. I just think they're a little. I think they're a little different because the type of celebrity that Will Smith is, like, there's gonna be some endorsement that comes with being a bad boy, pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Hey, shout out to Bad Boys. What,
Well played,
5, 4?
yeah, but with your local celebrity, you kind of just gotta be careful because your celebrity literally is local. Like I can't view, you know what I'm saying, Boston news anchors from DC. I can't, there's an Anchorage, Alaska news station. I don't know who those people are, but the people in Anchorage do. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You gotta, your local celebrity has to be more careful because you're literally living in the midst of everything that you are. Your global celebrity is going to get some recognition for doing the wrong thing and some recognition for doing the right thing.
That's a fair point. And I just kind of, as I'm looking through this, I'm just looking through the, at the two pictures. This is a fucked up joke.
I love black women and brown though. I just for the record.
Yeah. It's the joke is kind of fucked up, but again, that is a matter of preference, right? So they don't like how this brown suit looks. Okay, cool.
They didn't like Obama's tan suit.
They didn't like Obama's tan suit. That's a fact.
That shit was crispy.
That shit was fire. That tan suit was fire. Let me just go on the record.
They didn't like Michelle's shoulders, was it?
Fire as fuck.
They ain't like Michelle's shoulders. They probably ain't like her dress being fitted.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they ain't like, right? Yeah. So I think we can agree with that. But again, I guess my question was, because a lot of people don't like Kamala Harris for real. Like, a lot of people don't like Joe Biden, like this Biden-Harris ticket. A lot of people don't like them, so they're going to be jokes and other things that are going to be made on them because they're public figures, which kind of goes back to the Jada thing. They are public figures. You're going to get, joke by the public. You're gonna get it. Like if we ever become public figures, they're gonna come at us too.
And look at how they joke Russell Wilson for being. So I'm not gonna say everybody, right? But I heard some things about him getting joked for being a nice guy. Like, how could Sierra blah 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 blah? Yo, it's Russell Wilson.
It's the toxic nature of our society because so there are so many women who swear they want a Russell Wilson while chasing Future that they don't like. We don't, so we can't give Russell credit and like that, and that's, I guess that the again, because we're going back and forth between these things, that's the part that throws me, like, because for all of the Trump jokes, they were like jokes about him being dumb, about being him unqualified, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was never a race joke. It was like his tanning was terrible, but it still wasn't a race joke. Like with black figures, it's all like there's always got to be some racial something with it, not just who you are. Like if I think you're like a terrible person, let's make jokes about that. If I think you make bad judgments, let's make a joke about that. But I don't want to joke about your heritage. I don't want to joke about your upbringing. I don't want to joke about your religion or like, because those are just not there for me. Those are not things I see with white like celebrities. It's literally, like on a. It feels like it's always here.
Like if you're gonna joke a person, you want to joke the person for their character, not necessarily for their whatever
who they are. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Martin.
But again, that kind of brings me back to the question for this one is was this joke in any way racial, like racially driven? I don't know that it was.
I don't know that it was either. I'm just saying, and which has been my point. But you have to know better. I don't think it is, but you got to know better.
There ain't nobody ever designed a test, nor will they design a test that can measure the heart of a man or woman. Trey, I think you know where I was going.
No, I'm with you. Big shout out to Art
Williams.
Yeah, big shout out to Art Williams, man. Big shout out to A.L. Williams and Primerica because we learned a lot of stuff
but
there.
You're right, man. We don't know, but like Kev was saying, when you represent a company, the company is going to do what's in the best interest for the company. So
that's a fact. Yeah.
In education, like we're, for what it's worth, educators are not bound to too much of anything. But a teacher lost her job for having a OnlyFans. She didn't use her real name. She didn't affiliate it with being a teacher. Somebody found it. As a matter of fact, it was a parent, which means the parent was dead wrong for looking at some body on OnlyFans while being the husband of, you know what I'm saying, somebody. So like, but because they found it,
he probably tried to get some, and when she turned him down, he turned her in. I'm just saying.
So she was, just because she has an affiliation with a school system, she was wrong. I actually don't think she's wrong at all, because what you do outside of school, it's not like she was recording from her classroom with her students in the background. This was her separate but equal and probably paid better that route than teaching in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? But she cared about kids. You're like, they put that wording in, so literally almost anything you do is a fireable offense.
But see, that's kind of my problem, right? So we have a young woman who made a perfect, a decision on her own to, put her body out on the internet for fans and money, and that's no problem with that. There's no problem with that if that's what you want to do. My question is, how is that okay, but a joke about UPS is it?
I'm saying, according to the company, neither of those things is okay. According to us, I don't have an issue with either of them, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think I don't think the joke was racial. I just think you got to know better. So like, it's okay.
But if it wasn't racial, is it okay to be fired over something with the claim of it being racial?
Yes and no. Well, I'll say no and yes. It's not right. It's not right. But like Rich said, the company's gonna protect the company. So like, as a company, I can't chance it being racial when it's tiptoeing the line. I can't chance it, because I stand to lose.
The numbers are the numbers.
Millions of dollars just because somebody feels like it.
Because of cancel culture.
I mean, but
this company has who working for them?
But seriously though, I think that's a little bit of bullshit though. Because I mean, I'm not saying what you're saying is bullshit, but I'm just saying like that mindset, that mentality to me is bullshit. Because again, we acknowledge this. If it was Hillary Clinton wearing the same suit, right? A white woman wearing a blonde white woman wearing the exact same suit, and the same joke was made, nobody would have considered it to be anything racial.
Because she's white.
But
right. But that's my point.
That's my point.
It's not. It wasn't a conversation about Kamala Harris's skin. It was a conversation about her suit.
Unfortunately,
you know what I mean?
We don't know that.
I'm with you.
We don't know that.
I'm saying Rich is with you. I'm with you. The world, though, may not be with you because there are levels, and this is like, and again, we're gonna spin back to all these subjects. So I'm spinning the block on the wheel.
Yeah.
There are levels. There are triggers that have levels for different people. So what doesn't feel like a big deal to us is a huge deal to a person who has been microaggressed in every place that they've worked.
Okay, but does that, because they have been in the past, does that mean that we fault the person who's not making a joke like that?
If enough people say something about it, again, it's about that culture. If they get enough people, they're more so concerned with the majority of people that have a problem with it, because they believe that it's the majority that affects that check, that
All right.
money side.
Okay. So I'm gonna go off something you just said, because you just said that if it's somebody, if it's the majority of the people that are offended by it, what if the majority of people aren't offended by it? Like, what if the majority, like seriously, if the majority can look at this joke and see it for what it was, a UPS joke, or a joke about the suit that she was wearing, not a joke about her being inept because she's black. Now, we can argue whether or not she's inept as a vice president. That's another conversation. But if she's inept as a vice president, it's not because she's black, and I think we can all make that argument too. So, if when do we get to the point, I guess, where someone like where someone can't freely speak their opinion about somebody without a few people, really, because I think the majority wouldn't find a problem with it. A few people say, "Oh, that might be racist, or that could be looked at as racist, so y'all need to fire her."
When Thanos snaps again, like I'm saying it's not gonna be that way until you get,
not in our lifetime.
You get rid of a setting of people who can't handle those kinds of things. Like, again, we grew up in a place where, like, you got joned on, and like,
right,
it didn't make you had to learn.
It didn't make you want to like fire people or like stop being friends with people. You learn to toughen up your skin. You learn to make better jokes yourself so that you wouldn't be the one who got fried when you were being joned on. Like, that's how we learned. Now people are like, they can't take that joke. So instead of just like toughening,
but she's like 50. She's like 50. What you mean? She can't take a joke. I mean, by the way,
but it wasn't even her.
It wasn't. I know. I was about to say, to be fair, it wasn't
Kamala Harris
that got her fired. To be fair,
it's the people who sit and do this.
It's the fear, yo. It's the fear of the cancel culture. It is the fear. Everybody right now is operating off of fear. And I'm not going to say Trump is responsible for it, right? But a lot of people right now are operating off of this fear of losing this. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. I'm going to lose customers. I'm going to lose money. I'm going to lose all of that, right? They're operating out of fear. And right now, social media has created the cancel culture, right? Because if it wasn't for social media, you wouldn't have all these quote unquote opinions. And some of these people are just trolling, but right, you wouldn't have all these people with all these opinions so fast to say, "Oh, we'll get rid of, I'm not supporting so and so." And then the company's like, "Oh shoot, well, we gotta hurry up and do something about it."
Right.
Did they go through a proper trial?
Money.
Is she really guilty? No. Right now in America, guess what? Everybody across the board right now is getting what we used to get, and I'm saying we as in brown skin and other colored folks, right? They're getting that what America has been for us. It's guilty until proven innocent. And so right now they're feeling that pressure because with this cancel culture, it's, oh snap, we got to do something now. Where's the trial? Where's the what? I didn't.
What happened to due process?
She wanted to give me a massage. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Oh, don't worry.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're
Deshaun Watson. No.
We ain't even got that kind of time today.
We'll have to say that. We're gonna say that for next week. We're gonna come back to that one.
But seriously though, the cancel culture has created even more fear, right? that these companies are not willing to take. I mean, people, if you got a following, if you got a legit following, these companies are paying you to get to put, promote their company. And if that following, that culture says, oh, we want to cancel this, you best believe that company ain't, they're not, it's probably set up in their bylaws and all of that, their contract, that they can let you go without, cause, this, that, and the third, without reason. And that's why they write all that fine print. It's so that they can do things like that. They don't have to go through a speedy trial, right? It is what it is. You got to give us 2 weeks notice, but we don't have to give you 2 weeks notice.
And
That's just what it is. We're operating off of this fear of being canceled.
and it's that the range of things is astronomical because non-color. Think of Michael Phelps. One of the greatest Olympians we've ever seen, smoked a little weed and lost millions in endorsements. I never saw anything wrong with that. First of all, like Olympics weren't in at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what he's doing is off of whatever. Like, but because he posted a little bong hit, he lost all those endorsements. Like,
and by the way, there is absolutely, positively, literally nothing wrong with marijuana. Obviously, you don't want to smoke that shit as a kid.
The natural marijuana.
Naturally grown marijuana, not that shit that's laced with everything else, but like naturally grown and harvested marijuana, which is what most people that smoke weed smoke, because we know bullshit when I'm saying weed because I'm one of them. We know bullshit when we smoke it. Okay.
I don't even smoke it, but I agree. I've seen, and I've read up, like,
So,
and then more importantly, like literally, precisely 0 people in the history of the world have died from a marijuana overdose. Precisely 0. Okay.
But alcohol poisoning is real.
Alcohol poisoning is real, though.
Opioid overdoses are real.
Ironically enough, all the shit that's legal and that's not regulated, or that is regulated, is the shit that actually kill you.
Yeah. So, like, we just see that companies are not trying to take chances. White, black, Hispanic, Asian, indifferent, and I mean, like, but again, there's stuff on the sensitive side. Like when Cam Newton said to the reporter, "Oh, wow, you're a woman who knows about football." And that statement cost him all of his endorsements, which, I mean,
right.
But Cam was dead wrong though. Like, because like those all statements are dangerous. Like, yes, there are women who know about football, just like there are men who don't. You know what I'm saying?
Devil's advocate, though, isn't that like normal though?
Is
like
it his fault that he didn't know?
Yeah,
she was.
But she's a reporter. Like, just
being a female reporter doesn't make her knowledgeable about football.
No, I'm saying, listen, I get what y'all are saying, but let's not be too like ridiculous. Chances are, if your company is sending you to report on something, you should have some knowledge of it. So I imagine she, as a reporter at the conclusion of a football game, is not going to be a person who can ask you, what were you thinking on third down? Like, the bare minimum. And he was like, wow. Like, I mean, he dragged it. Like, there was a better way that he could have gone about it. And again, those are like just the differences in statements. Like, wow, you're a woman who knows about football, or, hey, I'm impressed by that. Let me, expound on it. And
but let me go back to that teachable moment you talked about, though. Is that worth it? Is that worth losing all his endorsements because he was surprised? Because the majority of women maybe that he deals with don't know much about football.
So to him, no. But to a company who understands that money is driven by women's spending, yes. Because but is
it in the NFL though?
Not the NFL, but again, like, endorsements are outside of the NFL. So it's product placement. You know what I'm saying? And for what it's worth, women spend more than men. So, like, if I can get a woman,
Women spend men's money more than men, that's for sure. But
if I can get a woman to believe in something, best believe that woman is then going to make a man spend. Going to make a man spend.
She gonna buy that present.
I mean, all right. But what shit difference does that make?
To the company, a lot. To us, not much.
Numbers again. It's all about the numbers, man.
You know, that brings back that takes me all the way back to what you said in the very beginning of all of this, which is in the end, there's gotta be the capital God. There's gotta be God at the front of all of it. Otherwise, there's gonna be gray area. There's going to be gray area. A lot of it. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of touched on a little bit of it. That what can Brown do for you? I think that's a great. I don't even think that's a gray area joke. I think that's a joke that was an innocuous joke that some people, a very small group of some people, and we kind of know who those people are. We will save that for another episode. But I think that a few of those people got offended by it and ran up and told whoever it was, WMAL or whoever owns them, if somebody owns them, that they didn't like it, and whoever that company was, folded.
Hey,
what I'm saying is you can't be canceled unless you allow yourself to be canceled.
Right. It's all it's the art of war, right? It's business. It's like, so let me tell you an example. So I had a rental company I was dealing with way back when. I spoke to somebody that worked with the company. There was an issue where I had to get on the train. I was in Atlanta. I was coming back from Atlanta. I was going back to the DC, the DMV area, and the person that worked there told me exactly what to do. They said, no problem. The place is closed, but here's what you can do. Well, actually, I gave them. I said, well, can I just leave it here and blah, 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 woo, woo. And so I did, what I told them I was going to do. They said, yeah, it's fine, cool. They called me up later, trying to charge me for the extra 2 days that they said they couldn't find the keys, or they finally found it, and they still have to charge me for the time it took to find the keys, whatever, right? So I was mad because I had an agreement with that person. I had an agreement set up already, verbal agreement, right? I was mad because they wanted to charge me. And I said, listen, if you charge me, not only am I going to cancel this whole thing with my credit card, I said, I am well connected. I said, I'm going to tell all my frat brothers, all my frat sisters. I said, I'm going to tell everybody I know. I said, I'm well connected. I said, I'm going to tell everybody I know not to do business with y'all. What y'all think they did?
Calm that shit down.
They folded.
They calmed that down.
Folded. They calmed all that huffing and puffing down, and they only charged me for the days that I actually had the truck. So, yeah, man, at the end of the day, they scared of those numbers. They scared of the cancel culture, man. So, man, whether she meant it in another way or not, it's all about the platform. It's all about, the company you're working for. Like I said, if she was a comedian, she probably would have got away with the joke. But if it was even a joke, again, like you were saying, Trey, it could have been just how she, says things. Could have been just a aha moment. Tie in something with the slogan. It could have been.
Yeah, I really do think that that's more so tying something in with the slogan, because I feel like if Hillary Clinton, I'm only using her as an example because she's a blonde white woman, right? So I think if Hillary Clinton had wore the same suit and somebody had made the same joke, that it wouldn't have been a big deal. As a matter of fact, I'd even argue had somebody black made the same joke, right? If she was a black woman or a black person or whatever, and she made the same joke, that it wouldn't have been a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And so that is where the hypocrisy part of it comes in for me personally, right? And again, we'll dig in on episodes to follow.
Yeah,
I definitely got some things to show y'all on this too. But I think if we're really being honest, right? if we're being honest, that wasn't a fireable joke. There have been fireable jokes or fireable tweets or things of that nature. Like absolutely, there has been, but I don't believe that was one of them. I really don't, because I think if if a black person makes the same joke or they
But
make the same joke about a white person, it's a non-issue.
but again, here's what I will say, right? Again, it's about there's still a healing process that is taking place. And that's just it is what it is. We're still not far removed from a lot of stuff. There's people still alive that were lynching folks, or that were police a part of different brutalities, and there's people still alive from just the different eras where we weren't even classified as citizens and whatnot. So I mean, that might have been a little bit extreme, but I'm just saying, like,
It's not.
we're still not far removed. So it's a lot of healing taking place. So you still have to be sensitive, and you still have to know, just like Cam needed to know, somebody should have been in his corner to have, either he should have known or somebody should have been in his corner to prep him, right? Not to make that comment about, oh wow, you're knowledgeable about the football. Same way he should have been knowledgeable is the same way she should have been knowledgeable that this is still a sensitive era where your butt could get canceled for making an ignorant response like that.
And
If this is time down the road, it's like being at a funeral and making a joke that is inappropriate about the dead. And it wasn't the time. An inappropriate joke about the dead is going to rub some feathers. Somebody's going to want to get up there and slap the shit out you.
yeah,
They're going to want you to be laid up right beside the person.
he went ahead and died because he knew that the woman, his mistress, was going to tell on that, like, it's not appropriate for the moment. It's funny.
It's not
it's
appropriate.
So okay, all right. So again, just playing devil's advocate. So it's not appropriate for that moment. That's fair. But if they tweet that joke a month later, is that okay? 2 months later, is that okay?
Depends
6 months later, is that okay? A year later, is that okay? 2 years later, is that
Depends on who
okay?
you ask. Because like I said,
Again.
for me, you know what I'm saying, like certain things about my mother, I'm still not over. So there are certain things that you can say, like if I have bad holiday and somebody says it's been X amount of years, like you should be okay, I probably will Smith them at that point. But to some people, grieving has a period of time. You know what I'm saying? But for me, at a certain point in time, I'm gonna smack the shit out you, because like there is no, like, you're always gonna miss your, you know what I'm saying, like your parent, like, Trey, you're always gonna miss your father, like, you know what I'm saying? So like we're allowed to have those moments. For a person who's never experienced that though, or whose grief look different than yours, they don't think the same way that we do. So like, even though you may not feel it the same way, you still have to like have a level of sensitivity to it. So yeah, like a month later, it's going to be funny to somebody. It's still going to be sensitive to somebody.
And if always, especially in this day and time with this social media, they're always going to go with the majority.
I don't even know that they're going with the majority. I think they just go with the loudest voice in the room.
Now, I was gonna say maybe it's that, not even the majority, but the most offended. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's the personal offense Olympics.
Yeah.
So whoever is the most offended wins.
But Trey, to go back to your question, there are culturally sensitive jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like we're allowed to, as much as some people feel like we shouldn't. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. Like, we can say the N-word to each other. White people can't say the N-word to us, because, you know what I'm saying, in the wrong place, like you will again get Will Smith because you said the N-word around black people as a white person. Like, you're not allowed to do that.
I get that.
There are white jokes that are okay in white settings, you know what I'm saying, redneck and hillbilly and, you know what I'm saying, whatever, like, like sleeping with your sister. What I'm just, like, they're even screw the pooch. Like, we don't understand that as black people, but white people will say screw the pooch, and that's understood in
their
those settings.
society or
You know what I'm saying?
their
Like,
culture. Yeah.
so yeah, like there are culturally sensitive jokes that are okay, but there are lines that you can't cross in those cultural, you know what I'm saying, culturally sensitive. Like I can imagine within the Hispanic community, there are jokes that they'll make, you know what I'm saying, like when you hear wetback, like that's a racist term in some places, but a joke in some other places. So like, it's just like it's certain things that you can do in your culture that you would dare not do outside of your culture, or you would dare not allow somebody outside of your culture to do in your culture.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I get that. I get that. I'll leave that topic there. You got something else, Rich?
Hold on. My last thing, right? But is it really the loudest person in the room?
So
Because again, at work today, loudest person in the room, loudest person in the room, bruh. We were like, yo, like you're making us look bad. You're making us look bad. Loudest person in the room didn't go anywhere. So just because he was the loudest person in the room, no. But again, had somebody else been the loudest person in the room, it might have went somewhere though.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I can't fully agree with that. I really can't.
I think the loudest, most offended person in the room wins. And that's kind of where we are. The loudest and most offended person in the room
That's
wins,
still dependent.
even if there's not really, and I'm talking about with corporations, even if it's not really an offense to be had, the loudest, most offended person in the room tends to win, right? So, um, it definitely varies from person to person, to company, and all of that, like 100%. But yeah, that's this is where we are now, where we've arrived now in society. Is that again, whoever the most offended person is. Okay, all right, we lost Kev. Whoever the most offended person is wins. You know what I mean? And it's just unfortunate, like And again, we'll get into this later. But if you look at some of the things going on with the I'm just gonna call it the agenda because I don't want us to get canceled yet. But yeah, I'm just say the agenda. But uh, okay, now I'm waiting for him to reconnect. All right, cool. But yeah, but we're seeing a lot of that with the agenda right now. You know what I mean? I'll save it for next week or the week after. But like you got the
Yeah, save that. Save it. I
you
already know where you're going.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel, I
You
feel like
feel
I
me,
know where
yo?
you're going, and we're gonna say that. We're gonna save that, man.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gonna
We'll be
cancel
up to
before
it
we
on
even
that.
get put on, man.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying not to get canceled on episode one, but that's what it is when the agenda is making moves, and and they're getting more and more emboldened by the day. Like Disney just had a whole bunch of CEOs, people high up, expose themselves, not literally, physically anyway, but expose themselves for what they were trying to do, to us and your kids and my kids and so on and so forth. They literally just had a conversation about that. So again, like I said, I'll leave it at that. So anyway, all y'all listening, just know that topic is coming up soon, right? But there we go. He's back in. But yeah, it's tough to really ignore the loudest, most offended person. And nowadays, that's what's happening. Because honestly, if it wasn't that, and if we were looking at things more from a logical perspective and a realistic perspective, in my opinion, then the Washington Commanders would have never changed their name. You know what I mean? If we're looking at things from a logical perspective, Land O'Lakes would have never taken the woman off of the front
and
cover.
and Jemima,
And Jemima would have never changed their logo from Uncle Ben would have never, changed from Uncle Ben. But again, these are bullshit things that are being kind of pushed in our way, pushed in our face as being offensive. Who said they were offensive? We got the other side that's telling us that these things we should be offended by, you know?
they're minor. I actually think they're minor offenses that got major publicity to
Yeah.
distract us from major changes that we weren't supposed to pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we said, stop killing black people, and they said we're gonna change Aunt Jemima to
right
Pearl Milling Company. You know what I'm saying? We said stop like kneeling on our necks, and they said Uncle Ben's got to come off rice. Like let's stop lynching black people in public, and they said we're going to name a street in DC Black Lives Matters Plaza, and so yeah, they are minor offenses. I actually think probably Aunt Jemima more than anything, because Aunt Jemima was literally the mammy of like all foods, but like it's I don't think it's as like didn't seem as offensive now as it would have maybe 20, 30 years ago. Like
see, so as long as
oh shit, Rich, we lost some.
Do we lose your audio? I'm about to say, as long as what? I think we lost your audio. Nope. We ain't got you. That's cool. We'll table that. We'll come back to that one. That was good. That was good stuff right there, man. We ran actually about an hour and a half on that, which is phenomenal. I have as we talk about the agenda, and that's gonna have to at some point circle around to conservative and liberal and all of that. There's some stuff I definitely have already queued up, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna talk a little bit about history and all of that. But yeah, this is good. I like what we're building here so far. And we haven't even got to, some of the other major topics we talked about, like church hurt, and about, men not having a safe space to communicate, like all of those things that we discussed before. We haven't even touched on any of that yet. So I think we got definitely a long way to go, and a lot of things to discuss. So we're going to table this. Are we all good with tabling this one for now? Yeah, bet. So cool. So we good. Hey man, y'all ain't said nothing. I actually got to finish this, man. I got a little bit left in here. But nah, man, good stuff. Good. This was good. Next week, I wonder where Disney is going with the whole the bill in Florida. And with the let me correctly call it the Parental Rights in Education Bill, not the Don't Say Gay bill. Let me call it what it actually is. All right. And we can absolutely get into that. Don't worry. But it's gonna be. I think it's interesting to see what Disney's take on that is, considering their higher ups have basically exposed their not so secret gay agenda already. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get us canceled. That's why I had to pause. Anyway, definitely some shit for next week. But I mean, like I said, this is good. Y'all got anything else you want to add on what we already talked about?
Glad to be in a number.
Huh?
I said just glad to be in a number.
Shit, man. Look, I'm with it. Good stuff. All right, well, cool. LB, you got anything, bro?
He can't say nothing. He ain't got no sound.
Oh yeah, word. His audio's gone.
He said, "Read my lips."
Fucked up, man. He ain't got no audio. It's all good. Well, shit. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and put a wrapper on this, man. This is episode 1 of Up to It, Down to It. We are out here in these streets. We're gonna be doing more of this, more conversations like this. The only way that we grow is if we had a conversation. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. Kev, look, you gotta finish what's in your cup. LB, you gotta finish what's in your cup. All right. But yeah, man, we out here. For everybody that checks this out, thank y'all for listening. We appreciate y'all. There's gonna be more. There's gonna be different segments. There's gonna be different, things added to the channel, man. We just getting started. So thank y'all again for listening. Y'all again, anything y'all wanna add? I'm gonna cut this up. This is live right now, but I'm gonna cut this up a little bit.
Put one in the Air Force. You know what I'm saying? If y'all down for the cause, put one in the Air Force.
Say less. Actually, after all this drinking, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Is go put one in the air because of going to bed drunk is not cool. But going to bed drunk and high at the same time is awesome.
That's why you got baby number 2 here.
Heyo. That's why I ain't gave Rich none of my weed yet because they ain't ready to have enough of me yet. He made it. Hey, y'all ready? Y'all seen that, right? Y'all seen that? He finna make another one. Baby number 2 on the way.
Don't you put that evil on him, Ricky Bobby.
Oh shit. Good stuff, man. Fellas, it's always a pleasure talking with y'all, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how much we can expand this conversation and get some other people involved. But hey, man, shout out to a successful episode 1, man. I think this is pretty good.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is. All right, fam. Well, listen, we are out of here, man. Y'all take it easy. And y'all know what it is for next week, man. Hey, man, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Hit us up. We are out here. We just getting started, so don't start judging us, nothing like that. But follow us and follow along, damn it. All right? Can I say that? Follow along, damn it.
Up to it, down to it. 22.
Subscribe to our shit. Up to it, down to it, 22. We out here, man. Fellas, man, y'all take it easy. Have a good night. I'm going to get at y'all.
Blessings.
Bless up.